Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, the Professor Mike Bresnahan, the Hall of Famer Big Game James Worthy. We got Mike Trudell up in the Bay Area. Over the last few days, the Lakers had some frustrations and a 3-game losing streak, and they took it out tonight on the shorthanded Warriors as they blew them out up in San Francisco. The Big Three set the tone. They were fantastic. We'll talk about that in a moment. Great energy, I thought, from the start. Business-like. As Luka was saying at the end of the ABC broadcast, and the offense caught fire, James. 129 points, 19 threes, 46% from behind the arc, 29 assists. And sometimes, James, you just need a blowout.
Yeah, I think you said it, business-like, because they realized that the Warriors were shorthanded too, as were the Phoenix Suns. So I think they had that in the back of their mind. They weren't going to come out there and take anything for granted, and they needed to win, Gita. Sometimes in the NBA, you just need a win.
Yep.
And you could tell at the end of the game, there were smiles again. It was Luka's birthday. They were having some fun, but I thought they came out and took care of business, as you stated. You know, 53% from field, shot the 3-ball well. I thought they got some good production from the bench. Luke Kennard, 10 shots, 4 of 7 for 3, and also Jake Reaves came out to play well too. So overall, good game. They did what they were supposed to do with a weaker team tonight. Did not let any of their, guys who usually don't score like get going. They kept everybody under the radar, and they were able to come up with a victory, which a victory in your stomach feels good, and hopefully it can jumpstart them to get where they need to get.
Yeah, James, I was really impressed by the offense. You know, it's been a tough 3-game slog for them, and I feel like they got their mojo back tonight. And, you know, the bench was great. We talked in the pregame show, in 2 of their last 3 games, 1 reserve on the other team has outscored the entire Laker bench. Not the case tonight. You know, Reaves was great. You already mentioned Luke Kennard. He was great. I liked Austin Reaves tonight. I feel like he kind of took a nice little step again. 16 points, whatever it was, on pretty low volume, too. I thought he was really
11
efficient. 11 in the first.
Yeah.
You know, way to get this team off to a good start. And James, here we go. All it takes is 1 win. There are only 2 games out of 3rd now in the Western Conference. Houston lost today. So with games coming up at home against Sacramento and New Orleans, teams near the bottom, if not at the bottom of the West, you know, these games, if you can tuck away these wins the next couple games, you're going to be right in there for that mix for 3rd place. It's crazy.
Going into March, book some wins, get back on track.
Catch on fire right now.
Let's head out to San Francisco. LeBron James with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, so the best thing about the NBA, when you lost a couple games in a row, the next game is always right there for you. How did you bring a focus into this one and make sure you ended the winning streak, or the losing streak, I should say?
I mean, our back was against the wall. I mean, after losing the way we've been losing lately, obviously we lost those last 2 at home and then go to Phoenix and lost that heartbreaker. So we wanted to try to fix that. We started on the defensive end and then not turning the ball over on the offensive end and have a good rhythm. We had a really good rhythm tonight.
Yeah, you start out 4 for 4 from 3, and it seemed like the rest of the team kind of caught that. You just believe in that? Sometimes when teammates see the thing go down, it can get contagious and there's momentum with the shooting?
Absolutely. That's on both sides. They're like, you know, one guy turning the ball over, it can be contagious. And, you know, sometimes I have high turnover games and then everybody starts turning the ball over. So felt like, you know, by me, you know, making a couple shots on the outside. Obviously, Lucas sprinkled in some. Jake sprinkled in some. Marcus hit a couple. AR, you know, we had a pretty good Luke. I mean, Luke was a great game by Luke tonight too. So it was a good win for us.
What do you take out of this, and how do you move forward now? The rare kind of road home back-to-back as you got to play again tomorrow night at home.
I mean, you just said it before we even started about the NBA. You can't really get too high or get too low because there's another game right away, and we got another one tomorrow.
Last one for you. Obviously, you get to spend a lot of time with Bronny tonight. Bring your daughter to work night. How was that for you?
It's amazing. You know, I spent a lot of time away from my kids throughout my career, so you know, any opportunity at home, at road, to be able to spend time with them is always a blessing for me. And you know, she's good luck so far. She want to know.
All right, appreciate it, LeBron.
Appreciate it, yeah.
All right, LeBron James talking to Mike Trudell there. The Big Three guys, they really set the tone.
Yeah.
They came out, the stars shined. I thought AR was great in the first quarter. LeBron, a dominant first half. He had 20 of his 22 in the first half. And then, of course, Luka gets hot in the third. They scored 66 points. They had 20 assists between the 3 of them. But I do love what LeBron had to say there. And he was hot early, James, and they were feeding him 4 threes to start the game off.
Yeah, he broke another record, did he not?
He and Kobe are now the only two with 1,000 threes.
Yeah, I mean, look, focused.
Milestone.
He was focused and ready and prepared. You know, the big three played well tonight, including LeBron. You know, they passed the ball really well, Gator, and I think that was the difference tonight. That's why they were able to get, you know, shots. And LeBron really, he's starting to get to that paint. You know, that long pass from Luka that he goes down and gets in the paint and takes advantage of that, posting up a little bit more, and he still can knock down the three. So it was a good collective effort. The big three got busy, but even in their effort, you know, they did well. The whole team, you know, kind of made a nice contribution.
Yeah, James, you and I were talking right here almost a week ago when the Lakers lost to Boston, right? And they had 18 assists as a team that night. That's way too low. Tonight they had 29, and it helps, Geet, when you're making your threes. The Lakers kind of out-warriored the Warriors tonight.
Yeah, 19 threes.
Yeah, made 19 threes, outscored the Warriors by 21 from deep. When was the last time you could say that about a Lakers-Warriors matchup?
Nice.
So obviously no Steph Curry. That helps a little bit for the Lakers' cause, but really impressed by the overall ball movement, the flow, the offense. Hit a low point against Boston, under 90 points, only 89 that night. Much better today.
You know, LeBron mentioned this to Mike, and we were talking about before we came on air, Luke Kennard. And we spent a little time talking about him on the pregame show. And, you know, you bring him in to be a three-point shooter. And we've always talked about him not being a high-volume guy, but he does make the right basketball play. He's a little more of a playmaker than we thought. But only one three-point attempt in the last two games that they lost close games. And we were curious if maybe J.J. talked to him or he just had a feeling he was going to come out more aggressive tonight, James. At least that's what I thought. I mean, 16 points, 10 shots, 7 threes, made 4 of them. That was nice to see, 16 points from him off the bench.
Especially the 4 threes, Geeter. That's what we really needed for when we're playing these teams that are just throwing in threes on us, and we need to kind of match it. He's our guy right now, I believe. But what makes him more of a threat is he moves without the basketball really well. So if someone is driving downhill, he's so smart of dropping to the level of the basketball where he's always in sight. He's never out of sight. And I saw one play where Vanderbilt drove into the lane, and his man turned his head for 1 second, and he didn't hesitate. Backdoor cut. He's extremely smart. And I just like to see him get up more volume. I'd rather see him get up more volume threes than twos. But he does a good job of, you know, fooling the defense, getting all his shots, threes, twos, and, you know, sometimes to the free throw line.
And it's funny, James, because it's not like the last few games he just disappeared off the face of the earth for the Lakers. He was doing great. You know, he was scoring 8 points, 9 points. It was all twos, though. He was shooting like 80% from 2, which is really, really weird, Geet. Tonight, though, he went back to what he is. He's a shooter, period. And not a huge volume shooter, but mark my words, guys, he will win this team a game or two between now and the end of the regular season. I mean, I think he's that big of a pickup for them. He gives them a huge need, a glaring need at three-point accuracy and three-point shooting, and just got to get that volume up. And he did tonight. And obviously,
nice to see.
Yeah, obviously we saw the positive consequences of such an outing.
Let's talk Luka. Happy 27th birthday to Luka Doncic, and he was just doing what he always does, but really efficient tonight. Again, 4 threes. And weren't you giving a stat? B. Moore, we were talking about this, our producer. He's leading the league in points, 3rd in assists, and leading the league in three-pointers made. Tonight, just to say 26 points, 9 of 17, 4 of 9, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. But third quarter, when you have a lead, he came out and had 16 in that third, put it up 30, and he didn't even have to play in the fourth. That's what you love to see.
How does he fare in fantasy leagues?
That's pretty good.
It's unbelievable. I wish I had him, James.
Yeah,
That's why I'm terrible in my 2 leagues.
The guy is a stat machine.
Yep.
You put a quarter in the machine, he'll give you whatever stat you want. Points, assists, you know, threes. Every now and then he'll give you some pretty good defense, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, tonight he came out and led because the team needed a victory. And like to lead in those categories, that's not easy to do. But look, 8 assists. He's rebounding well. And he's, you know, a big threat. They don't know when he's going to shoot that 3. They're right in front of him, but they don't know. And he just slowly just puts it right in your face. He's an amazing stat guy.
You know what my favorite stat is? with the game tomorrow against Sacramento. None of those guys played more than 29 minutes. All the starters got to chill in the fourth quarter. It's nice for the Lakers to have a blowout win. You know, they've been this great clutch team this season, almost unblemished record in clutch time down the stretch. No need to go to that tonight. Just put it away early. They did.
Unlocked the offense, and once the shots started falling and the rhythm that you guys got into, how did you see that sustain itself through the game?
He was just making the right play in front of us. I thought our starters really set the tone with that. And boy, like Luke Kennard just starts the blender for us. You know, we frankly have not had like a ton of like starters. And obviously, you know, like Luka gets 2 on the ball, AR will get 2 on the ball, LeBron will get 2 on the ball. But just to be able to create a closeout and then make the right read and right play from there, I thought our guys were incredibly unselfish tonight. You know, but it started with that starting group, and then I thought, you know, Luke was huge for our offense tonight.
And you kind of hinted at that in the pregame. You said that, you know, after the All-Star break, it hasn't quite clicked for you yet, but you felt like it was going to come. Did you feel like you saw some of that tonight?
Yeah, again, it goes back to just, you know, finding that consistent level of playing the right way on both ends, doing what we're supposed to be doing, executing at a high level. You saw those trends. You know, we haven't had it for a sustained, like, full stretch of a game, really. It's come in spurts in all 4 of our games that we played prior to this. You know, it was definitely our most complete game post All-Star break.
JJ, when you guys were shooting above 50% from behind the arc and 19 threes, was that part of the blender, so to speak, or why was it so successful tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. You know, it's just being able to just make the next pass, get to the next thing, touch the paint, pass it to the next guy. You know, we certainly made some threes. You know, LeBron made a couple ISO threes. Luka got hot to start the third quarter with some set plays, and then the ISO three, the second one in transition on the left wing. So it wasn't like all our threes were coming from that, but I just thought the ball was moving tonight.
Shot making is always going to help, but was there a consistency to the process tonight that allowed you to extend a 10-point lead to 20 to 30, whereas there's been a couple games in this stretch where you get a 10-point lead and then it...
Yeah. Again, that's what the consistency of like just playing the right way was great. I thought anytime we got a little disorganized, we were able to get back to just, you know, some go-to stuff to calm the group. You know, they made that little run in the second quarter. Once we had the bigger lead, we went horns chin, you know, twice in that quarter. Smart gets the three because they went under on the chin screen, and then AR gets downhill on the against Horford, you know, because we set a great screen to get Smart potentially a layup. Horford has to back all the way off. So again, it was just like we did a good job. The guys did a good job. Anytime, you know, we felt a little discombobulated of just getting back to neutral.
Getting back to Luke and him being, you know, creating that blender, is that even more valuable? Obviously, his shooting is valuable, but is it even more valuable because now, you know, Luka or Austin and LeBron can be the beneficiaries of that, if that makes sense? Yeah,
I think he's got like a really good we score mentality. You know, a play can be for him, but he's going to hunt out, you know, the best shot and play for the team. And all the guys, you know, benefit from that when the ball moves. I mean, look, I had an ATO for him in the second half. He scores on it. Could have shot it off the initial screen, created the blender, eventually got it back, hits a step back three. We run it again. And this is where I just, you know, he's a cerebral player. Pat Spencer tries to top block him, and he screens his own into Jake's guy. Smart hits Jake for a layup. You know, that's just connective offense right there, and that's just what Luke does.
JJ, earlier this year we talked a lot about reference points and different stuff like that. Just obviously you'll watch the game and you'll see it, but in real time, did it feel like this was 48 minutes of good reference points for your team and for where it's trying to go, and particularly where it's been here for the last week?
It did, and like I said before the game, these guys want to do it right. They're trying. I know our staff, myself, we're always looking for answers and solutions. That's what this is. We're trying to find solutions. And I said before the game, I'm confident we are going to find that level that we want to get to. And it's been partially just because of the disruption of lineups and different factors. You know, we just haven't had the continuity that I thought we were going to have coming into the year, and it's taken longer than I thought, but I'm confident we're going to get there.
All right, let's get you to the highlight here up in San Francisco. Lakers taking, he's the only Laker with 1,000 threes, 12,013 points, 10th in franchise history. He has done a lot here in that Laker uniform, Brez. When you think of the 8 years, it's a lot of buckets.
Yeah, no doubt. And take your daughter to work day. I mean, what a great day for the family. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Big game. You just feel like every night we're just witnessing something different, climbing up the ladder or another milestone, and just continues to do what he does here in the 23rd year. I mean, 20 points in the first half.
The thing that's so interesting is we've never seen this before.
I know.
So we're watching something that's never happened ever. You know, father, son playing together first time in the NBA, breaking Kareem's record, breaking other records. Now he's, you know, got the three-point record going there with Kobe. So we're seeing a 41-year-old. We've never had an opportunity to see someone still performing with accuracy at that age. And so, yeah.
Isn't it funny, James, how we saw Tom Brady in football do it a few years back. We saw Gordie Howe do it in hockey. I mean, those hockey guys play for like 20 years sometimes. That's a real interesting one to me because it's such a violent sport. But we haven't seen it in the NBA level. It's very weird to see someone who's just ground out these 23 years, and what's going to stop him from playing at 24? You know, the stats are still there. The numbers are still there, James. The will is still there, and that's what LeBron talks about. You know, he always says, you know, got to keep the mind sharp too. Got to make sure you're still invested in the game and respectful of the game. And you know, games like tonight just reminds you he is very well into it mentally and physically. Just an absolute medical miracle in the NBA.
He said he thought this was the best the big three had played. Lucas said that, yeah. I think, in his ABC interview on the walk-off. Good chemistry.
I think part of it is just knowing how to stay out of each other's way and realize who's the most impactful. Obviously, they all three are, but for me, I mean, Luka, obviously, Austin Reaves can never be without the basketball in his hand. He's that efficient. I think LeBron is smart enough to see that. He can play off ball. He can get a rebound, start to break down. He handles well. He did a really good job of getting in the paint, posting up, using his size. So depending on who they're playing against and the matchups, that big three can work because they all could take turns and they all bring something special and different to the table.
You know what I like about Austin's game, just listening to you? He didn't force it tonight. He didn't push it. Horrifyingly tough end for him. They had a great play drawn up 2 nights ago against Phoenix. Marcus Smart, the beautiful pass across the court. And Austin got a great look. He missed the three. But I didn't feel like he was like pressing it tonight. And he didn't like, I felt like he played very much within the flow of the offense. Good template for all three of those guys going forward against a team that, no Steph, obviously no Jimmy Butler, but they've been playing pretty well. They're still maintaining their spot in the standings.
Still fighting for playoffs.
Yeah, total blowout tonight, though.
So big game. You talked about Zuri bringing your daughter to work day, and I know it's your daughter Sable's birthday tomorrow, but we're going to show you, you know, she was throwing lobs to her dad before the game, which I think really got him ready.
I believe
this is why he went off in the first half.
I believe that having your daughter there on the court with you brings a special, you know, innate feeling that you did. Watch this little dance. Get it. And yeah, I mean, it gives you a spark. I believe whenever LeBron retires from the NBA, he's going to come out of retirement and play professional mixed doubles with his dog. Beat somewhere. Watch.
Do we have an Access 360? Is that what I was told this week do?
Yeah.
Lakers three-point shooting, big game.
Yeah, man. I think the
Access
29
to the B block.
assists had a lot to do with it. The ball movement had a lot to do with it. Making the defense move so you could have time and space to shoot the three. Luka, first of all, they always like to get this over the top to LeBron. When that doesn't happen, they saved almost a turnover. Now Luka's looking. All he's looking at as defenders. When Aiden comes up and set this pick, he's looking at how they're going to defend it. Is Aiden going to roll? Can he drive down the middle? He's watching Draymond Green over here, and he knows that Austin Reaves and Marcus Smart are over there. So whatever the defense nudges and gives him, that's what he takes. That time it was a great pass over to Marcus Smart. Now here we go with Austin Reaves handling the ball now. We know he's good at penetrating. He does exactly that. Extra passes. Everybody on the team, I believe, touched it that time. Ended up with LeBron shooting the three because they made the defense work. Luka will always draw attention. He gets double teamed here. Look at LeBron moving into his eyesight where he can see him because the defense is pretty good up until that point. But Luka gets out of the double team. LeBron has drawn his defender over. That leaves Luke Kennard open for his 4 of 7 threes tonight. Here's LeBron handling the ball now. We've seen Austin, we've seen Luka, now LeBron. Over to Luka. The defender got hung up on a pick. 29 assists. Different people handling the basketball. Everybody touching it. That's a small sample of, I think, what they need to do here on out.
Good breakdown.
Thank you, sir.
Good breakdown.
I stole your line.
Yes, you did. Brez, you want to talk threes, though? 19 threes tonight?
It was really impressive.
47%.
Yeah, and look, when you're a team that's just not clicking like they have really for the last week since that Boston blowout, it's like, okay, at some point, obviously, they're going to win a game again. But how do they win that game? And tonight, today on the road, excuse me, I guess tonight, whatever, the offense looked great, James. It really did. And it wasn't... that's a big number, you know. That's a really nice offensive number. Ball was flying. A lot of... JJ said it best. I'm going to steal from him, Geet. He said it was a really good connective offense tonight.
Yeah,
and he's right.
I agree with that.
You know, you hear that saying all the time. You got to be on a string on defense. They were on a string on offense tonight.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone really, you know,
they needed it.
They needed it. Every pick had a roll. Every three-pointer seemed to go in the bucket. I mean, it was just everything really seemed to click tonight.
We had talked in the pregame show just that the offense the last 3 games, you know, you're getting 89 points. You're struggling in other games, so it was good to see him get going. Jake LaRavia with 15 points off the bench, including 3 triples.
The group mentality, so we just got to win. What do you think you accomplished as a group today?
You just said it. Just needed to get a win. Get the shit back on the right front, and I think we did it tonight.
What about the approach early was getting off with the right foot and able to allow you to sustain it all night?
Yeah, it's been a while since we had like a 48-minute game where we was able to sustain the effort, and at the start we just came in with the right mindset. Obviously, the last 3, dropping the last 3, last 2 at home, and then the Phoenix game was a tough one. So, you know, we just came in with the right mindset and understanding the assignment. We took care of business.
How much of that mindset do you think was selflessness tonight?
The hell? Sorry. I mean, that should be the mentality every night. I mean, obviously, you know, we want to get everybody involved. We want to have the ball moving, the ball popping, but you know, I thought defensively was connected as well, and that definitely contributed to our offense, and that helped a lot.
They had high praise for Luke. I think this was his highest scoring game since he joined the team. What kind of impact has he had on the group since you guys got him a few weeks ago?
It gives us another scoring threat. His ability to make plays, you know, get into the paint, uses because he shoots the ball so well. A lot of teams like to run him off the line, but his ability to get into the lane and make plays for others as well has been a big part of what we want to do too. You know, just making that extra pass, those kick-out plays, and those extra ones. He's damn good at it.
LeBron, over the last 10 games, you've been shooting 19.5% from 3. Had a pretty good night shooting from beyond the arc today. What do you think went into that, and how's your comfort level there right now?
I'm comfortable in every shot I take. I can shoot 0.0% from the three-point line. I believe I'll make the next one. I've been playing ball my whole life, so not much of a numbers guy, to be honest.
You guys did make 19 three-pointers. What did you like about the ball? Was it the ball movement? What did you like about that?
Man, it's easy to say. I mean, shit, when you know the ball moving, the ball goes in, it's the easiest thing to say, oh, well, you know, you guys are moving the ball because you see the assist total. Listen, at the end of the day, I just think our minds was right. The numbers will speak for itself. You can talk about the numbers, but I just think mentally we knew what we was against. We knew how we lost these last 3 games, and it just sit well with us, obviously. And we just came out and we executed.
You had the pregame moment with your daughter where she was mimicking your dribbling routine. What was that moment like for you, and then be able to play in front of her and have a good win like this?
I mean, I said post-game, I missed a lot of moments, spending time with my kids because of my career. And, anytime I get, over the course of my career, anytime I got moments with them, either individually, 2 of them, 3 of them all together, whatever the case may be, it's always special for me. So to have my daughter want to come on the road and be with me, and we spent a lot of time yesterday. We went to Alcatraz. She wanted to go to Alcatraz. We seen Alcatraz. She saw the Golden Gate Bridge. We went to dinner last night. Spent a lot of time. It was pretty cool. It was awesome.
We've known her as a volleyball player. I saw some handles out there.
She's a volleyball player. Don't get my wife mad. My wife is done with this basketball. She's done with it. She's a volleyball player, but she's been around the game for a while, so she do got a good handle. She got a good form too. But my wife ain't playing that. Not another one. She said, "That's it. That's it."
But you walked off the court.
Last question.
You walked off the court holding her hand.
I'll give you one more.
As a girl dad would. Can you describe that?
It's special. It's special. It's definitely softened me up over the last 11 years. I had 2 boys to begin with, but getting that little girl 11 years ago, man, it's definitely softened me up. So it's special to have her. It's a different type of love. If anybody got girls and boys, it's a different type of love it's like tough love when it comes to my boys. I yell at them and stuff, whatever. They take it. They know how to approach it. It's different. It's a little softness with my daughter, so it's pretty cool.
Had she been able to go on a trip like this?
No, first one. She's a good luck charm. First one. First road trip in my career that she's been on besides like All-Star Weekend and stuff like that. But
Call her out of school on Thursday when you guys go to Denver.
Don't say that too loud, because she definitely be like, "Dad, can I go to Denver?" She already said when is the next road trip? Like, nah.
Good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Jump in there, Brez, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, just always fun to watch the little byplay with LeBron and his kids. I want to talk about the standings, though, Geep.
Fire away, Brez.
Let's go big picture. Hey, Lakers win tonight. Houston lost earlier today to Miami. So look at this. Lakers 2 games out from 3rd, like we talked about earlier. Now, they're going to have to climb a couple of teams, James, but here's the good news. The Lakers played Denver twice in the next 2 weeks. They play Minnesota in 10 days. And in mid-March, they get Houston twice in 3 days.
Are you telling me if we beat a shorthanded Suns team and the game they should have won against Orlando, they'd be tied for 3rd right now? It's that close?
It's crazy,
It's been
right?
that tight all season.
Yeah.
So even when we were losing, we weren't dropping like you normally do, but we were right there. That's how tight it is in the Pacific and South.
These are important home games coming up, and I know it's like New Orleans and Sacramento, but you get 3 in a row, then you got Denver on the road, then you come back home for the Knicks. Like, this is a big week.
And this is when you got to be talking to one another in the locker room and say, "Hey, guys, this is what we need to do." And then we can be in a position to get better and go into whatever, the last 20 games of the season, make some noise. Lots of it.
March is super busy, too. Not much practice time at all. You just got to win these games and practice. Close that gap.
Austin Reaves at 18. We are back. Austin Reaves with Mike Trudell in the media.
Hey, Austin, we spoke after the Phoenix game, obviously, and the kind of peak frustration. And everybody hates losing, but you certainly stand out there. What is it like to just clear that, to come out playing well and get over that emotion, at least for the day?
Winning's fun. Winning cures a lot of issues, so anytime you can get a win is good.
What led to the rhythm and the ball movement, the way you guys are able to use each other collectively on offense tonight?
I just think playing the right way. When we do it out the gate, I think it sets a tone for the rest of the game, and just getting good looks. You know, we have too many weapons offensively to not get good looks. Obviously, there's going to be times where, you know, Luka gets on a heater, Brown gets on a heater, and, you know, they're tough shot makers. So, you know, you obviously live with those, and you believe that every time they shoot the ball, it's going in. But once you know, set a rhythm early of getting good looks, you know, I think we could, you know, do special things.
There was a point where I think you guys were like 55% from behind the arc. Is that a byproduct of passing, or is it a good day?
Like Bron said, you know, when you make shots, you say everybody's going to go, the ball movement's great because of the assist numbers. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a sense of, like, rhythm and feel and comfort. You know, once you see, you know, some shots going in from everybody's, you know, the feel's different. So we need to continue to, you know, share the ball.
Was the mindset shift that LeBron talked about, JJ talked about through Jake, was that like a spoken thing that you guys discussed in meetings, or was it just kind of a more of a collective understanding that, like, we need to play better and we need to play this specific way?
What'd they say?
They said, like LeBron said, Dick, he thought we just, I mean, shots in or out, whatever, like the mindset was better. You just kind of said, like, we played the right way, shots in or out. Was that, did anything trigger that? Or did it just...
I don't know. Losing sucks, so you don't want to lose. I think the best way to combat losing is playing the game the right way. I'm like...
He said he didn't get him anything.
No.
Yeah, he said you didn't get him anything for his birthday.
I actually got you a present, you freaking idiot. Sorry. Yeah, it's huge. Any more questions? Good. See ya.
That's great.
A lot happier Austin Reaves tonight, Keith.
Yeah, losing sucks, winning is fun, basically, is what Austin Reaves is saying. Listen, he's always got the pulse of the team. You can always kind of tell how the squad is going because he wears it on his sleeve, and he's accountable, and he's always talking to the media, and he lets you know how he feels. And he played good tonight. I was happy for him. Big game because he got it going in the first quarter, 11 points. You could just tell he had that look before the game. He was not going to let that happen. You know, he didn't have a great night against Phoenix. So it's a good bounce back game.
He's vital. I think we all agree that he probably would have made the All-Star team had he not been out for that long. But on his arrival coming back right away, Geeter, he's showing us why he's so important, why he's such a threat, why he needs to have the ball in his hand in certain situations when the Lakers need something. He gets to the line. He knows how to make the defense freeze. He can make them foul him. And so he's critical to me. And it's good to see that they all three are playing well together. But to me, he's just as vital as anybody on the court. When you need a bucket, last 10 seconds of the game, whatever, he's proven that he can get it done.
James, Austin's in his 5th year with the Lakers, and you know, I think we've all kind of gotten to know him personally. And I don't remember him being so irritated and upset as he was after that Phoenix game. Granted, he missed the last-second shot. I think he probably forgot that he hit the game-tying shot a minute earlier, but still, he was really down on himself, Geet. And so it's good for him to have the game he had tonight. It's good for the Lakers to have the game they had tonight. And it's good to see Austin Reaves joking around again a little bit. Luka chucking clothes at him or whatever that was.
Let me take you back to when you were in school and stuff, and everyone knows this, when your friend throws something at you and you're trying to, this is exactly what happens here.
Yeah.
And
that's what you
I don't care if it's your birthday.
It's huge.
But Luka messing with him. By the way, Luka said nobody's got him a present yet. He said it's kind of ridiculous,
I know,
James.
guys,
I think he got bikes for everybody, didn't he?
Well,
That's a great point.
You know,
take that.
They always say,
yeah, that's huge.
where do you get somebody that's got everything?
Yeah,
Get him another Bugatti or something? No. Just get him a
good point.
Uber Eats gift.
Let's check out the Lakers calendar. Sunday, the Lakers return home for a little back-to-back versus the Sac Kings. Tuesday, they host the New Orleans Pelicans before hitting the road to take on the Nuggets on March 5th. That's followed by home matchups with the Pacers and the Knicks. Jake LaRavia with Mike Trudell in the media.
Do you think, is shooting just contagious sometimes if you see the first couple go down as a team? Does that loosen things up?
Yeah, basketball is really all about rhythm. And, you know, when you see a couple guys making shots, it kind of ripple effects down the line.
Jake, how do you think you guys handled the adversity, the feeling of the 3-game losing streak as a group in order to get through today and kind of get on the right side of the win column?
Yeah, I mean, I think we responded exactly how we were supposed to tonight. Again, anyone that talked to me and asked me a question about, what the mindset was coming to this game was just win the game. Like that's, at all costs, we have to come out and we just have to win and get back on the right track. And I think we did everything to make that happen.
Jake, Luke's been around this group for a few weeks now. What have you seen him add, and especially a night like tonight where he's kind of facilitating, doing a lot of things to help you guys win a game like this?
Great player. Obviously, I was with him in Memphis, so we've shared the court together before, but high IQ player. He plays with, a lot of pace offensively when he's off ball, when he's on ball, like whatever it is. Obviously can shoot the ball extremely well, which helps with spacing. And, some of us, we haven't been shooting the ball, very great. So him, being added to the team has been a huge help for us, and he's been contributing really well off the bench.